Ladies and gents, we're back.
Man's got the big old sippy cup.
We'll fucking drink two of these a day, dude.
God damn. Motherfucker must be pissing a lot.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, peeps, we're back. Finally, after figuring out some fucking shit
Mm-hmm.
with recording and everything. Fucking God, dude, it feels so good to finally do a fucking podcast again. It feels so fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Um,
it's I enjoy doing them, so glad to be back at it.
but yeah, regarding the water bottle, drinking two of these a day. It's about 2 liters, I think, in this. And fucking yeah, I'm starting to get back into working out and everything. Um, I'm really fucking feeling it today because it was leg day again.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that is like I love doing like upper body shit,
Mm-hmm.
but when it comes to like legs, I fucking hate it so much. Like we get on the so me and a coworker are pretty much going every week and everything.
Hell yeah.
And so I tag along with him. He goes to like Planet Fitness and everything. So you know how they have like the buddy pass like we used to
Mm-hmm.
do back in the day. And so we get there, and it was our first fucking leg day, and we were just like, I'm not looking forward to this because I started looking up and everything, and it's a very common thing to feel super nauseous
Mm-hmm.
on fucking leg day. Because like that's like some of the biggest muscles in your body and the blood flow going after you fucking like strain the shit out of them. So like we get on the leg press and everything and laying back and fucking we call it the body crusher
Mm-hmm.
because that's basically what it fucking feels like. And literally the first day, dude, I got up off that fucking thing like after the last fucking set and I stood up and I literally felt everything just fucking flow straight to my legs and I felt so lightheaded and nauseous. I
Damn.
thought I was gonna fucking vomit, dude.
Damn.
I was like, oh my fucking god.
Yeah, the
And
only
he
time.
got up too and
Mm-hmm.
he's like, I'm fucking feeling it so hard right now. And I was like, dude, I might throw up in your fucking car. I
Yeah, the
might
the
throw up in your car.
the uh the only time I ever felt like I was about to throw up related to working out was when I farted getting in my car. That one time. Which if you haven't told him that story, you gotta tell your boy that story.
Oh my god, dude, I
I'm pretty
really
sure. I'm pretty
fucking
sure we already told it before, like an earlier episode. Uh, but the
yeah,
short of it is, me and Gavin were leaving the gym when we used to work out together, and as I'm getting in my car, like door open, I'm like going down. I rip ass, and I'm like, oh, it's outside the car, it's fine. And close the door, and it was just all inside the car. We had to get out the car. it was,
dude, that shit
it's
hit like a fucking freight
it
train,
was one of the worst farts of my life.
dude.
Definitely top five.
That is definitely the top one, but we've definitely mentioned this one before, and the second one has to go to when it fucking
Well,
ricocheted off
that's
the
like
wall.
number one funniest, like under funniest farts.
That's,
That's
yeah,
like the
that's the
most like
funniest part.
because like literally pointed the opposite direction of you, and before I smell it, it passes me and goes to you, and you're like, I fucking taste it.
Yeah. And the fucked up part is so like to give everybody like a perspective of like how I was in his position. So he had his bed off in the corner. So he's higher up than I am, like ass towards the wall. And I'm like laying on the ground and I think we were watching like anime or some shit like
Some
that. And I was on the totally opposite end of the fucking room,
you were
just like laying down.
at least 5 feet apart because we're not gay.
Exactly. I got that shit. And literally I heard it, but then I instantly fucking smelled it. Like there was no like
Mm-hmm.
delay, there was no fucking like hesitation that came out of that asshole. Dude, it fucking hit my fucking nostrils and tongue so fast that I literally started gagging.
Damn, it's still like funny. It'll never not be funny.
Oh
Um,
my,
yeah,
that's hands down the funniest fucking one that we've
hmm
experienced though.
yeah. I haven't worked out like actually worked out in like so long. I mean, with my job, I
You
kind
kind
of
of do
don't need
kind of.
to because I kind of do. Um, and then of course, like one of the reasons why we didn't record like have a podcast last week is because I was out of town for a few days helping my mom move, and
Yep.
yeah, talk about a fucking workout, bro.
Sure. Oh, I'm sure.
With the amount of stuff she got, and one of our very only regular listener, Jordan, he was there to help. Him and Christian, they came and helped,
Oh
but
shit. Right
fucking
on.
fucking whooped our ass though. And just I still have to go back next weekend.
Oh shit.
I don't have to take off work and shit and all that like I did this past week, but
Have
yeah,
to kind of wrap up smaller stuff and whatnot.
yeah, it kind of. I mean, to be honest, I could have done more. To be honest, um, two things kind of one thing really fucked it up. The third day, Saturday, on the way back to the house. Well, actually, no. After I got back to her new house with the first load of the truck, uh, like maybe 3/4 of the way through unloading it, it just torrential downpour, like hardcore, starts raining, hard as fuck. And so we kind of like stopped unloading to close the truck and just like we had to wait, and it kind of just like stayed like that for too long of a time. And
Yeah.
I could have easily, like, if it hadn't rained, because we did end up going back and loading up again and coming back, I could have easily, like, we could have finished unloading. I could have went back, loaded up, and then unloaded that day. And maybe I was going to try and go back because I had to return the truck Sunday, and at the time I didn't know what time I had to bring it back. But like while we were waiting for the rain, I got my mom's phone and checked the thing, and it wasn't until like the end of the day, so I had all day Sunday still. But that like slowed us down so much, and then I think yeah, on the way back with the second load, like it stopped raining completely. On the way back with the second load, it just started torrential downpour again. So we're like, well, fuck this. We're just not even gonna unload it. We're just gonna park it, and then I guess I'll see you in the morning and unload it
Yeah.
then. And then that kind of fucked it up. And then because of that, which I mean, I probably could have did a second load on Sunday, which would have knocked out pretty much just about everything,
Hmm.
except for a few things. I mean, there's not much left, but my mom kept saying, "Oh, everyone's tired, all this," because like Jordan was fucking. He actually helped all 4 days, surprisingly. I think he even surprised himself with that. He was fucking whooped. Uh, I don't know. I mean, I was like mentally tired, but I could have physically kept going.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, fuck it, I guess. And we'll just have to deal with it later on. And then there's still the pianos, which I don't know what the fuck we're doing about that. Because,
Oh yeah, I did see she posted something on Facebook, like trying to get rid of it and everything.
yeah, one of them she's trying to get rid of, which I haven't talked
Eldest
to her.
one, right?
Yeah, I haven't talked to her about it, but there was supposed to be somebody Monday that was allegedly going to try and come get it with one other person, which good luck to
Ooh.
them.
Yeah,
Because that's the whole problem is getting it in and out of the house is probably the hardest part. I mean, it would have been a bitch with like 2 or 3 people to get it up the, which even though U-Haul trucks are low and have the ramp, it would have been a bitch, and we had been very careful not to knock it over. But getting it
yeah.
in and out of the house is, my opinion, the harder part because it's barely not as wide as the door, so it fits through the door. But the door, of course, most houses are like this. There's a step at the door, like a couple inches,
Yeah.
and what the fucking, it's one of those fucking standing pianos. That bitch like 1,000 pounds, bro, literally.
Not bad.
I think I looked up because they do range in sizes and like weights. I think it's like they're anywhere from 800 to 1,200 pounds, and
Jesus.
she has two of them.
Fuck,
Fucking
dude.
we fucking moved
That.
them things so many times. Yeah, so I don't know what's gonna go on with those. And she still had like a desk and like one more china cabinet, but I kind of I needed somebody strong to help me. I didn't have that. Jordan tried.
uh,
I mean, we couldn't because he couldn't be. By that point, he couldn't have helped me because he was already pretty exhausted. Which
up and shit.
yeah, but I mean, that kind of gave us like half of the day Sunday to kind of just like hang out where I didn't have to
There
go.
you go.
Yeah, and so one of the things I want to get on, kind of talk about this episode is because it's been so many weeks.
Yeah.
I've acquired several things. One of which, shout out to Jordan, that right there, fucking
Ooh.
Unicron giant Funko Pop. Like it's the big boy.
Oh shit. Damn, dude.
It's my baby.
That is a literal fucking baby. Yeah.
I like my giant robots, and Unicron's pretty cool OG one. So
Yeah.
shout out to Jordan for copping that for me. It was
That's
only like
fucking
20
sick.
something. It was only like 20 something bucks at GameStop. They had a bunch of
Oh,
them
is that
too.
GameStop?
Yeah, they had a fucking bunch of them. At first, I only saw one of them, and it didn't have a price tag on it. And I was like, I ain't got a whole lot. I ain't got a whole lot of money on me because, it's a couple days
Yeah.
before payday, so I was kind of at the end of my money. So I was like, I ain't gonna worry about it. And then like I saw they had like 4 or 5 more on like one of those like really high up shelves. And Jordan was
Yeah.
chit chatting with the dude, so I was like, "Hey man, by the way, how much is that?" And he said it was like 20 something bucks, and I was like thinking about it. And Jordan's like, "Oh, I'll get it for you." And I was like, "Shut out."
Shit. Hell yeah, dude. That's a fucking snag then.
Yeah. So, but I did buy something that day. There's this new shop in Slidell, which I didn't know about. Like I knew there was that new card shop in Pro River because of Michael,
Yeah.
but I didn't know there's another new small shop in Slidell. That's I thought it was just gonna be like a little car shop or whatever. It's actually a lot bigger on the inside than I thought it was, and they had a bunch of Warhammer stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had some cash on me, I was able to cop new Commander Dante.
Ooh.
Already got him all my pre-assemblies done, ready to paint. Hopefully, not too far in the future. I need to finish these couple of assault intercessors I got. I got 3 more to finish, and then I might do him and the Sanguinary Guard because their pre-assemblies all done too. I'm still going back and forth debating on if I want to try and learn how to do non-metallic metal paint, or if I just want to
Yeah.
paint them with the gold metallic paint. Because a lot of the pictures and stuff you see of non-metallic metal, where it's
Yeah.
basically like that old school style of painting from like old masters, where you use different colors, solid colors, and it looks like it's metal, with like lighting tricks and stuff. A lot of pictures I see, it looks really good, but I wonder how much of that is that it looks good for the picture and not like what's actually look like in
Yeah.
person. So
Yeah. And instead of just like sitting up on a shelf or something like that.
yeah, and like the thing is like I'm I'm painting these like because I want them to look good, but I mean I'm gonna play with them. I'm not making like I'm not trying to win a golden demon award or some other painting contest or something. Like, and I'm gonna put some on Instagram and shit, but I'm not like I'm just doing it just because it's like, hey, check out what I did. Not like, oh, look at me, I'm a fucking dope ass painter. And like,
Yeah.
it seems like it's kind of time consuming to do it. I'm I have a cheat way to kind of mix it that I'm thinking about doing, which is I'm thinking about priming in white and then using my yellow contrast paint that I have that I've been using for some of the helmets that are yellow, which will shade all the recesses like a darker, almost brown color, which is what they use for non-metallic metals, and then maybe dry brushing over all the raised areas with metallic gold. I might have to see if I have like an extra piece somewhere to test out what that looks like. I don't know how if that would because that would give like the shaded recesses and make it brighter. And I have 3 different shades of gold, or maybe I could just do the different shades of gold like because I have like a dark, really dark kind of brownish old gold thing is what it's called, and then I have like a bright gold and a greedy gold or I think it's called.
Yeah.
So I could maybe do the dark gold and then dry brush it with the brighter gold. That might actually look really good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll have to fuck around and find out.
Around and find out. Oh man.
But some other stuff that I got, because I got a lot of stuff. One of them you could also see in the background. Gundam G Fuel finally came in. Of course, it came in the fucking Friday or Saturday I was out of town. But I got my fucking steel cup.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
nice.
And I have the actual G Fuel, but it's at work because your boy been drinking it. It's pretty fucking good. It's Ramen Melon. Fucking
Oh,
nice steel cup. It was actually cool. So a lot of their shaker cups for the G Fuel, instead of having like a shaker ball, have like this little weird thing that sits in the top.
yeah.
It's actually like molded in there on this one, so it doesn't actually come out, which is kind of cool.
Oh,
And it's
all
actually
right.
like has a seal on the lid too, which is pretty sweet. I'll probably use this like here for me. I am definitely not bringing this to work to use at work when I
Oh,
make my G Fuel.
okay.
Like, and I'm
No.
sure this will keep it nice and cold because it's metal.
Yeah.
But like, this is like the printing on this is actually like really nice, and I could feel like the lines and shit and stuff. Like I did not want to mess it up.
Oh yeah, no, I'd be scared to even throw that in like a
Oh,
dishwasher
I
or
wouldn't.
something.
I think it says the hand wash only,
Oh, there you go then.
because it's gonna
Yeah,
that's just gonna come off. So, which I mean, I'm probably gonna like use it every once in a while, and then like just like kind of rinse it out and wipe it off, and then that'll be kind of it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's not definitely one that I'd take like a big old fucking scrubber and then just
no,
start fucking like.
no.
At that point, you're just kind of like, eh,
Maybe the inside, because the inside's just solid metal, but the outside where it's
yeah.
got the print on it, nah. But that's not the only thing. There's more. But wait, there's more. More Gundam stuff. So clearly behind me, I like Gundam models. I have very many of them. I bought one and built it. It's only my second one this like past year that I've done because I haven't been buying them as often as I used to. It's actually one that I've been wanting to get from Unicorn Gundam. Stark Jenkins.
Oh,
He's
nice.
got a bazooka. He's got missile pods on the top. It's not even like no main character use it. It just has like a really cool shot, couple little shots or whatever in the anime. And
Yeah.
I don't know, from the beginning I fucking fell in love with it and been wanting one, so I just got like a little cheap high grade. Uh the only other one that I've bought this past year, and when I say year I mean like literally like 365-day year, not like since January, was the Target exclusive USA Gundam. It's an American Gundam.
Fuck yeah,
Got
dude.
fucking red, white, and blue. That's actually entry grade, which is kind of a newer grade that they've been doing, where it's like even more simple than like the high grades.
Yeah. That's fucking dope. America.
And then the final thing, same time as I bought that, not a Gundam model. Got some more Dungeons and Dragons books.
Oh my god.
Two little adventure books. Forgotten
Oh,
Realms
nice.
second edition. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're second edition. The logo is more like the third edition logo around that time, but like when I looked them up online, they came out at like the end of second edition, advanced second edition. Got the Pool of
Okay.
Radiance, Attack on Myth Draenor, and Into the Dragon's Lair.
Into the Dragon's Lair.
So we may or may not be seeing these in the future. See, yeah. So this one is for 4 6 level characters, and then this one's for 10th level characters. So maybe if whenever we get that little campaign started on the channel, these might come
Yeah.
up. I
Oh
gotta
yeah,
really read
definitely.
through them, but I'm definitely excited. I know that Dragon's Lair one I'm kind of excited for. I remember when I read the description at the store, I was like, "Ooh, gotta get this one."
Hell, fuck yeah, dude. That's what's up.
That's
That
pretty much
is.
all my major cops these past couple weeks.
Yeah. While on the topic of Gundam, we recently finished our Let's Play of A Way Out.
Hmm.
Go check that out if you haven't when you get the chance. And after we kind of recorded that, we kind of sat down for a good like hour and a half,
Yeah.
figuring out what we wanted to do next, really. And lo and behold, on Game Pass, Glynn spotted SD Gundam,
Hmm.
and so as much as we talk about like anime and like rave about like Gundam and shit, I feel like it would be unholy of us not to fucking throw something up on the channel at
Some.
least once
Yeah.
of Gundam. But yeah, so that's gonna be our next pretty much playthrough.
Hmm.
Um, I'm fucking excited. That night we actually fucked around with the tutorial and got it out of the
Yeah.
way.
I didn't finish it because I ended up just going to bed, but I need to make sure I finish it so that way we can
Go ahead and
get right into the multiplayer.
um, but overall, just like first impression thoughts.
Hmm.
If any of you are looking for a Gundam game and you have Game Pass, I fucking
Also,
go
it's
for it.
the only one on Game Pass.
Oh, is it really? Oh
Yeah.
shit, yeah.
Yeah,
All
I don't
right,
even know
there you
like the
go.
other ones are even
Well,
on fucking
they do have the free to play
battle operations.
battle operations, but that's on
That's only on
PlayStation.
PlayStation. Yeah.
There's one that's a first person shooter. that
Yeah,
kind of plays like Overwatch almost in a sense.
I think I tried a little bit of that. I don't know how popular that is. There's kind of a
Yeah,
weird thing.
no.
A lot of Gundam games like are like low. Like there's people who play. There's a lot of people who like it but play them regularly. But there's not like. I feel like a lot of them don't really do super well recently. Not like they
No.
used to.
It's called Gundam Evolutions. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did try it around. At first it was fun,
Mhm.
but it was just really repetitive.
Mhm.
And I didn't really like the system from what I remember of how you got other Gundams, like mobile suit frames and shit like
Mhm.
that. So I was just kind of like, this is kind of, it's a very grindy game, and also I
Yeah.
think it's got a fucking paywall behind it because it's free to play and everything.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know, maybe one day in the future we can give it a shot on the channel. But yeah, we were messing around with SD Gundam, and it's fucking good. It's good. Like
Mhm.
the gameplay I fucking loved. The visuals are fucking good.
Yeah. You didn't know what a SD Gundam was,
No, I didn't. I didn't. I just knew
despite
that
me
it was,
having like five of them.
yeah.
Got
I
five.
just knew that they were like chibi or whatever, but
Yeah. In fact, I think this guy right here is the first one I bought. He's got
yeah.
all fucking kinds of shit. He's got a fucking turret with a bayonet, missile launcher, shit. I mean, I bought him because I was like, I've never seen like this Gundam. Like, I don't. There's no like, I don't think of like full version of this Gundam. I think it only exists in like the SD universe. I
Yeah.
was like, it was. They're cheap because there's not much to them.
Yeah. Very easy builds.
I even have a
Uh,
couple of those Sengoku Heroes ones. That's like the new like current universe for the SD, current ongoing SD Gundam stuff, where it's
yeah.
like all based on like they're Gundam cheap. They're like the SD Gundams, but they're like inspired by like mythical Chinese heroes. It's
Yeah.
like this weird hybrid. And like
Uh,
originally when I bought those when they first came out. I was like, oh, this is like a new like little series to do, and I'm gonna try and keep up with all the releases. Bro, they done made so fucking many of them. They put them
oh
out
yeah.
regularly, so I'm like, I got the first three, and that's it. There's probably like fucking 20 of them. They got horses you could get for 'em.
God damn, dude.
They got all kinds of shit. I was like, well,
I still think that like to this day, they need to throw in the mobile suits that represent each country and shit.
I want to say that SD Gundam game might have some of them. I know they have because they showed it in the little teaser trailer. They have the main Gundam, the main villains Gundam, the what the fuck is it called? The God Gundam and Devil Gundam, I think, or like the whatever the main character's Gundam is. They showed those, uh, and then like the opening cinematic. So those two are definitely in there. Now, as far as some of the other ones, we'll have to wait and find out. Because like I know a couple of them
It's
are
still a
in.
fairly new game, I think.
It is a new game. It's like 2 years ago, 3 years ago,
Oh, is that late? Fuck, I thought it
like
was like
2020.
earlier than that.
I'm pretty sure it said 2020.
Yeah, it might have been.
Um, but that mobile game, Gundam Battle Log, Breaker Battle Log, whatever the fuck it's called, where it's like you're using Gunpla and like can make custom one. That has I know some of them because I think one of mine has parts from the French Gundam, the Gundam like Rose or whatever the fuck it's called, the French one, the Napoleon Dynamite looking, Napoleon Dynamite, Napoleon Bonaparte looking one. It's got a vote for Pedro.
Wee!
It's got a vote for Pedro shirt. Gosh.
Can you imagine fucking Napoleon Dynamite but French? Don't touch my baguette!
That's a croissant. God.
It's croissant!
His fucking pocket croissants.
Fucking croissant! It's got a couple like snails and like frog legs and shit.
Gross.
But yeah, dude, it'd be so fucking funny if they added like the German and African one.
Like the crazy the African one's pretty fucking wild. That one, the craziest ones would be like that one, the Mexican one with the tequila Gundam with the sombrero and poncho. Uh, the Holland Gundam would be kind of just wild to see because it's a fucking windmill, like an old medieval style windmill.
Yeah.
And
And then like I think America's is like looks like a
well,
football
see,
player.
his is like that's like one of like the main side characters. He's like part of kind of on the same team as like the main character. So his is possible, but his is a it looks like a football player with like shoulder pads, and it transforms and the shoulder pads come off and become boxing gloves. Because the guy that pilots it is a boxer and movie star.
Oh,
Because he's
okay.
American and he's super famous, and all the
There
ladies
you
like him.
go.
Uh, yeah, and then like and then there's the one that is kind of a popular one. Like I know that the model kit's pretty popular. The Swedish Gundam, which just looks like Sailor Moon. I
Oh,
don't know
which
why.
I
If you ever see the Sailor Moon looking Gundam, it's not a Sailor Moon crossover. It's the Swedish Gundam from Mobile Fighter G Gundam. I have no idea why they. I think it's because it's like one of the only ones that has a female pilot. So they're like
Oh,
they're like
okay.
it's the regular Gundam but a chick.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Yeah. There you go then.
Yes,
Fucking shit.
that's like the only theory I have.
God, dude. Can you imagine that? Like, whenever they finally get on with the fucking live action,
Dude,
whenever that's fucking happening,
who
dude.
the
I don't
fuck
know,
knows?
but can you imagine that it's that instead of like,
That would
oh,
be so amazing if instead of doing like regular Universal Century stuff, which they're probably going to do, or like the original series, that they do fucking they announce the title and it's fucking like the gun it says Gundam and then it fucking Mobile Fighter G Gundam. That would
I
be
would
so
fucking,
sick, and I hope they keep
I'd
it as
be.
racist as it was.
Oh, absolutely. I hope it's like I'd be like fucking first in line, dude. I'd be there like
I
the
mean,
day
obviously,
before camping out.
obviously they won't make it fucking as racist as it was because it's low key
Oh
like
no.
it's not like so so just so anyone watching is like wondering like how racist it's not like derogatory towards any races. It just uses very
There.
gross stereotypes that were outdated in the 90s when this fucking thing came out. Like they were outdated for like the fucking 70s, the fucking
Oh,
60s, bro. Like the fucking
bro.
African. I forget if it's specifically a certain country. I think it is in Africa, but it's is an African tribal dude with like a zebra skin shawl or whatever, and a spear. And that's who the pilot is, and his Gundam looks the exact same, and it's called the Zebra Gundam. The fucking and like some of them like aren't like necessarily bad, but just like come on, like you couldn't think of something better. Like the fucking guess what the Canadian one is?
Oh no.
It's a lumberjack. The Russian one is like a fucking comrade, like soldier with the fucking tall furry hat. Uh, I think I've
You know,
showed.
I
I
was
think
gonna say like for an alternate with the African one, they could have did like a fucking like a lion or something like
yeah, they could
that.
have done like a lion or even like an elephant. The the one from Spain is one of the goofiest looking ones because instead of like a normal like proportioned body, its body is like almost like a perfect square, and it's the head of a bull, and it's just like it has like arms and legs and a normal Gundam head on top of it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
the most like that's what we're doing here is the their equivalent of for Speed Racer has the Mystery Racer X or whatever. There's a character like that in this who just happens to be the German's pilot, and the German Gundam is the Gundam Spiegel, which looks like a fucking Nazi a Nazi soldier, and he's a good guy.
That's my favorite
And see what's wild is it's like when I say like it looks like a Nazi soldier, it has like that style helmet and it's like got like kind of
one.
black armor, but like low key it has no Nazi like iconography on it. But low key it's like one of
Yeah,
the it's like
obviously.
low key it's like one of the coolest looking ones in the show.
It is like that's the fucked up part is like it's the coolest looking ones in the show, but every time you look at it, you can't help but be
You
like, "That's a
go,
Nazi."
ooh.
You're just like, "Ooh, what does that say about me, though?"
Yeah, because the it's funny that they did it because the Japanese one certainly is not like a kamikaze pilot or nothing. It's just like a standard Gundam.
Yeah, no. See, like, and it's funny because it's like I've noticed with like some anime, like whenever they
Mhm.
do like action anime and shit like that, they love adding like German weapons in there somehow.
Well, I
Like for
think that.
example, like Jinro was
Uh,
fucking like you had the fucking
well,
MG42.
the reason for that is because Jinro's like commentary on like fascist government and fascist
Right.
control. So it's like also
It's
the
gonna hit you
the
a
the
little bit.
uh the Kerberos team is wearing like Nazi plate armor almost. They have the same helmets and shit, and they look evil as fuck. Like that's kind of the point with that one. Like,
Right.
but well, I think the reason why like a lot of them do is because Germany actually is like a major like has like some of the major like firearm company manufacturing in it.
Yeah.
I forget what
Yeah.
the names of the companies are, but there's like two or three of them that are like
Cool. Yeah.
major internet like major firearm like I think like H&K might be a German company or something like
Yeah.
that. Like there's like two or three of them. Mossberg maybe sounds
Yeah.
German.
So they pretty much like it would make sense, I guess, because in a sense,
Well, if you're like a,
German World War II like weapons in general were like fucking like ahead of their time, pretty much.
yeah,
So
also
like
like
they had the
yeah,
STG-44 as like the grandfather, like the very first like assault rifle, pretty much, if you want to call it that.
yeah. Well, I mean, we also got to remember like uh Japan probably has a lot of like gun otaku, and there's a lot of, like gun otaku is a pretty
Oh
like common thing relatively. So there's probably just like a lot of gun nerds who are like who just like are like make do put in like specific and like popular like guns and stuff that they like and like try to make them accurately. But yeah,
yeah,
like with the Jinro specifically though, they're doing a commentary there. It's called commentary,
that
where they're
makes
like making
sense.
a point that
Makes sense.
a police force that runs around in bulletproof armor with heavy machine guns gunning down protesters maybe isn't a good thing. It's definitely like off camera. Like the main character had one of those that scene that's from that fucking I forget what sketch comedy show it was, whatever. Where it's like the dude in a Nazi uniform was like, "Are we the bad guys? I think we're evil. I think we're the bad guys."
My God,
Uh,
dude. Fucking Christ. Oh, but yeah, dude. If you guys haven't seen Jinro though, I highly fucking recommend it. Very good anime movie.
yeah, I need to.
Even the live action was
Yeah, the
fucking
actual
good.
one's fucking. That was fucking sick. And what's weird is that they because it is a modern day adaptation of it. It unfortunately could be kind of real because it's set in Korea because it's a Korean adaptation. So it's like almost like an alternate history if like North Korea wins and takes over.
Yeah.
So it's yeah.
Yeah, which I remember specifically when we were watching it and everything. The whole like opening sequence explaining like the shit storm that Korea and fucking
Mm-hmm.
like Eastern Asia was just in with this big old shit show and whatnot, and North Korea being the fucking like head of it all, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much naturally. Um,
Yeah.
it really kind of like set us back, and we just were like, like, that's hitting a little too close to home, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense like if you're going to do like a modern take on
Modern
it
day
and like
adaptation, yeah,
yeah adapt it to modern because I mean that again yeah it's
makes
kind of
sense.
could unfortunately happen.
Yeah.
Um. So I don't know if you had gotten any new things these past couple weeks or any major updates on anything before we get to the big topic.
No, actually, I haven't. Trying to think. Yeah, no, I don't think I've gotten really anything really. But yeah, so
Well,
I'll let you take the stage.
in that case, it's time for Warhammer Fest because that just
Oh,
happened this past weekend. And oh boy, was there a lot of shit fucking announced and a couple things teased.
oh boy.
I have the full blog up that I can scroll through, so we can kind of Some of the lesser stuff for us would be like a lot like the Warhammer Fantasy stuff, the Warhammer Underworlds, Wormwood, Weird Hollow. Showed off some stuff in the next box for that. Some new Age of Sigmar stuff. They showed off. I don't know if it's like just new models or new army, free guild cavaliers. It's like some horseback knights for Age of Sigmar. Some new. Oh, yeah, there's going to be some new narrative campaign event going on in Age of Sigmar called Dawnbringers. There actually is a really fucking sick orc model that they showed. One of the orc armies for Age of Sigmar is called Iron Jaws, and where it's like bright yellow armor, fucking all big, fucking bulky orcs. It's called a Maul Grunta, and it's a gigantic hog with huge fucking tusks with like three orcs riding on it. It's actually
That
like
is
pretty sick.
that's the most orc fucking thing I've ever heard of.
And if you see it, it's like fucking sick because it's all like fully armored and like this thing's literally like the size of a fucking car.
Jesus.
uh,
You know, if there is anything that fits orcs, it is definitely
mhm,
boars. This is definitely boars.
yeah.
I don't know why. That just seems like a really good fucking
Hmm.
matchup.
And they've been teasing Warhammer: The Old World, which I think so. I haven't really looked too deep into what it is. That I'm sure they've been teasing this. I think what it is, it's Warhammer. It's Age of Sigmar's answer to Horus Heresy, where it's like they're bringing back a lot of like combined with like bringing back like original Warhammer Fantasy. Like so, Warhammer Fantasy, like the original version, and like modern day Age of Sigmar are very different. And some of the like it's like some of the armies are just gone, and been some of them have been rearranged. Like all the human armies got put together into one army pretty much, and like one of the armies that was real popular was Tomb Kings. It's like an Egyptian undead army. They were pretty. They have nothing in Age of Sigmar. They're making new models and bringing it back, and you'll be able to use like your old models in the old world. They showed off two new models. A paladin, which he actually looks really sick. Him and him in the tomb. They showed a Tomb King model. I low key want some of these models because they've teased before. One of the old armies that kind of got pushed under the rug, kind of mixed in with some other stuff called Bretonians.
Okay.
Bretonians are like classic medieval knights. They have like one of the main things of the army is having like whole units of like horseback cavalry and like like full on like jousting, full armor, and like big fucking pole arms and shit. And they showed off some of those models before, and those are fucking sick. This is just like a standalone knight. He's really too cool. That was like the majority of the fantasy stuff. They did tease will show a new diorama slash model for Middle Earth strategy game, the Lord of the Rings game that they have, where it's the whole scene is the Nazgul looking over at that tree where the hobbits are hiding underneath the giant root on the side of the road
All right.
from the first movie. It's that scene,
Yeah.
but you can take off the Nazgul and actually use them in your army.
Ooh.
So it's that whole like you have this nice centerpiece diorama, and if you actually want to play and use plays has the Nazgul, you have a horseback Nazgul to put in your army, and it just like
Damn.
slides apart. They showed like how it like kind of how it opens up and stuff. It's really cool looking. Um, but
That's
now
fucking.
all the
The list.
40K, well before the 40K, the Horus Heresy. They showed some characters, like two new characters. Because they're coming in the Siege of Catonia campaign book. They're pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
There's a let's see, a loyalist and traitor commander space marine. So a Horus, one for Sons of Horus, a commander for Imperial Fist. Pretty sick looking. Just the Imperial Fist dude. The Imperial Fist dude's in like the slightly larger armor. He has this cool pose where he has his power fist pointing out.
Mm.
Those are pretty cool models. If I played Horus Heresy, I'd probably want to get at least the Imperial Fist guy. And
Oh
they
yeah. Definitely.
teased the upcoming schedule for releases for Horus Heresy. So one of the big problems people have having with Horus Heresy is they just keep releasing more and more tank variants. There's been so many tanks and new tanks and tank variants and shit. And people have been asking about two things. One, when are they gonna do something other than fucking tanks?
Yeah.
And when are melee marines coming? Because as of right now, there actually isn't really marines with melee, like whole squads of them. But they did
Yeah.
tease and show like some 3D renders of two assault marines with chain swords and pistols. One of them's got a shield. And they have like jump packs and stuff. So they're working on it, so it's gonna be coming soon. And they actually teased the roadmap. Oh, they also showed a one of the Forge World resin models, which is like one of like the special knights, Imperial Knights. That's only is in Fort on the Forge World side in resin. Is getting updated
Yeah.
in plastic, so it's gonna be for one, it's gonna be cheaper and more available. And from what I understand, it's been a really popular model to have for Horus Heresy, so it's like a pretty big win for them to get it like that.
Oh yeah,
It's
definitely.
the Knight Lancer, but they kind of teased the schedule. So spring, so like coming soon, is the tank that they had just announced previously, like Adepticon or whatever. That's coming out. The two characters that they just showed off are going to be coming out. Summer getting the Night Lancer in plastic, and then in resin there's going to be some new characters, new character models, and some new upgrade pieces. Autumn and plastic are getting more Lords of War. So that's like just like real big heavy models and stuff. They're going to do a Dreadnought, so Horus Heresy Dreadnought, and an armor mark update. So right now the main marine for Horus Heresy is Mark 6. They have upgrade sprues for like Mark 3, Mark 4, and like different little pieces you can get here and there. But they're going to
Yeah.
do a plastic, something plastic with a different mark of armor. So that'll be really cool, especially because I've been wanting to get into kit bashing some of the different marks for my 40k army. Because I think that'll just
Yeah.
look cool and give more variety to them. So that'll be pretty sweet, so I might have to cop some of those. And in resin, they're just going to do a new Primarch model. They haven't said who it is, but they're gonna update somebody. They've already done it.
Uh-oh.
Technically, two Primarchs have two models. Actually, now three of them do. Well, actually, if you include the Demon Primarchs, a lot of them do. But
Yeah.
uh, Gilliman for the Ultramarines, he has his Horus Heresy character model that you could take off the stand and use in 40k, or use it in Horus Heresy, and then he has his 40k version of his model. Horus has two Horus Heresy models. He has his original character little diorama model that you could take off and use as in your army, which is supposed to be him right before or at the beginning of the heresy. And then they did
Yeah.
Horus Unleashed, which is him towards the end of the heresy, where he's kind of more chaosy. But they're going to do
Yeah.
somebody else. I'm hoping they do Sanguinius because I don't like his resin model. The pose is okay, but his face is kind of weird. I think it's one of like the first of the Primarch models that they had done when they did, because they did a whole character series of all of them, where they're kind of on a diorama, but pretty much all of them you could either take off. You could take off a section that has like their actual normal size base and you play with them. I think his was one of the early ones, and it's not as good as like the later ones. Like I think the last one they did was the White Scars Primarch Jekatai Khan, and he's like fucking sick looking. A couple of them are really fucking cool looking, but Sanguinius is kind of mid. So
Yeah.
I really hope they update him, because if they do, I'm gonna have to get him. Not that I can, even though I can't use him in 40k because he's dead. But
Yeah.
uh, winter they're going to do a mystery army release, whatever that means.
Mm.
So they're going to add an army or updated armies models for Horse Heresy. That's kind of cool. Interesting to see what they could do, because in Horse Heresy most of it is just Space Marines, but the
Yeah.
Sisters of Battle exists. There's a prototype version of the Adeptus Mechanicus, and then I forget what they're called, but there's pre-Imperial Guard, so before the Imperial Guard was a thing. Different planets had their own like self-defense force type thing. That was like the human soldiers. So it could be one of those. Could be like Horus Heresy Sisters. Could be Horus Heresy Tech, Admech. Could be a completely new Xenos race or something. Who knows?
Yeah. That would be. Yeah. That's gonna be one to keep an eye
Because
out
yeah,
for.
so it'd be interesting to see what that is. And then that's when the Assault Squad's going to come out in winter, and they're going to do some more characters and upgrades. And then finally in spring they're going to have a Legion Command Squad come out. So it's like I guess it's gonna be a whole squad of like different commanders and stuff that you could use with any Space Marine army probably, and then melee weapons on their own. So you'll be able to buy just a pack of the melee weapons and upgrade your squad of Marines, and then some more characters and upgrades.
Mm.
Uh, So that's it's cool shit to look out for Horus Heresy. I don't think there was anything else. Oh, there's a teaser that people believe it's technically under the Horus Heresy, but it's believed that it's going to be the return of Epic 40K, which is the micro scale where like a squad of Marines is like fucking like that big, and like there's like you can use like more tanks and larger vehicles, but they're like micro models of them.
Yeah,
So you can do technically like a Adeptus Titanic is, where it's all like small scale down versions of Titans.
yeah.
It's like that, but you could have
That's
like yeah.
fucking dope, actually.
Yeah, it's been like in the rumor mill for a little while now that they're bringing it back.
That would be dope. Cause oh my god, dude, that'd be so badass to
Mm-hmm.
like set up a board and just have like these tiny but like large fucking like
Mm-hmm.
armies and shit
Well, yeah, because you
duke it
could have
out.
dozen tanks, like whole squads of fucking different tanks and titans and
Oh dude, it'd be
dreadnoughts and
so
shit
badass.
and large groups of marines that are super fucking tiny. It'd be interesting to
That'd be
see
so
because that was like an old thing was Epic 40K. So it'd be cool to see how they bring it back and how they update the models to look what they look like. We'll have to
yeah.
see. Um, some other cool things. Warhammer Heroes. I've actually been thinking about buying these. So Warhammer Heroes started like a couple years ago, I think. And what it is it's single Space Marine models in a little box, like and blind boxes. They're blind boxes. So
Yeah.
I think they've done two series of them. I think they might have both been Blood Angels, specific Space Marines, and it's unique. It's squads of unique characters that for like $8 you could buy one. It's a mystery little blind box. Well, now they're doing the third series of them, and it's going to be uh, a specific squad of Ultramarines, and if you collect the whole squad, it's a new kill team, and
Oh,
it has a captain. What armor is he using? It's called Strike Force Justian. Space Marines. Yeah, there's a Space Marine captain, some assault intercessors. There's an eliminator. It's like a whole like mixes. There's a heavy intercessor. Like it's a whole like mix of different like armor types of Marines that some of them you actually can't normally use in kill team, but it's like a specially mixed team.
okay.
It's that you won't be able to mix them with like other squads like in like regular uh kill team, but it's like a specific kill team so that's kind of cool. And that's a cool thing. Like, yeah, it kind of sucks if you're trying to get the whole team and you're only buying them one at a time and you get like a bunch of duplicates and stuff. But I guess if you get
Yeah.
enough duplicates, then you could just use them in regular. You just play regular 40K with them.
Yeah, true. That is true.
Some other kill team stuff. There's two other kill team things that are pretty cool. So they teased the next season. So the next box coming out, Gallowfall, is the last of the current season. They've been doing seasons of Kill Team, where it's like a bunch of all the boxes are themed around a certain thing. And so currently it's been all the Gallow Dark boarding action stuff with the
Oh, with
all the ship terrain and stuff.
yeah.
Um, the final box that's getting ready to come out, and that's the Leagues of Votan Space Dwarves versus the Chaos Beastmen. But they tease the next season, and it looks like it's going to be set on like maybe something to do with Eldari or something on like alien worlds. So cool to see some brand new terrain and stuff, and some new Eldari. I believe the rumor is that it's going to have brand new warp spiders, which is one of the Aztec warrior Eldarians, which has a really old kind of not that great looking model that needs update.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be like versus like Space Marines or fucking Imperial Guard or something like that. That'd be pretty sweet. So
Probably.
can't wait to see that box because I'll probably want to really get that one.
Yeah.
But before that, as not part of this as the current season or the next season, it's just like a little special extra thing they're doing. Kill Team Ashes of Fate. It is a box set for doing narrative campaigns with Kill Team. And
Mm.
it doesn't have any terrain in it, but it has 40 miniatures in it and it's a new squad an Inquisitor controlled squad of like these unique characters that can be teamed up with small squads of other units of like other Imperial units could join them, and it comes with two different options. It comes with fuck, what is it called? Yeah, however skilled they're not enough to. Oh yeah, it's Chaos Cultist. So it comes with a bunch of Chaos Cultists. An Inquisitor can
Mm.
call upon faithful servants from across the Imperium to fight their sides. 6 different groups can lend their aid in the form of ancillary support operatives. Tempest Scions and Sisters of Silence are included in the box. Tempest Scions are a sub army of Imperial Guard. They have like, I guess it looks like better armor, and they're kind of like a more modernized. I guess I don't know. It's hard to describe, but they're a type of Imperial Guard army. You'll be able to have like a squad of 5 of them or whatever with these Imperial Inquisition agents, or you could
Yeah.
have a squad of Sisters of Silence, which both those come in a box, plus 4 other groups that could join them. Uh,
The Sisters of Silence would
says
be hard to fucking turn down.
yeah, yeah. The Sisters of Silence, those are the female custodes units.
The real
I
fucking
think I
creepy.
think those in the Scions, it's just like the regular models. Like, I don't think they're getting any upgrades or nothing. It's just like a little sprue of like a couple of them. Which, going back to those Imperial agents, every single one of them can be made into 2 different characters. You have 2 different options to choose from. Um, which low key kind of sucks because if you wanted both, you have to buy another set of them. But it just gives you options. Like, one of them is like this fucking dude who he's like augmented himself with all kinds of like tech and stuff, and he's replaced his arm with this gigantic fucking plasma gun. And there's like different cool shit you could do. So it'd be cool to
That's fucking
mix and match
fucking
and
rad.
figure. I'd probably just do whichever ones I think look cooler. Um,
Yeah.
and then if it turns out I chose a lot of shitty options, then when they release this squad individually, I might have to buy another one to make the other choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool, and they list some of the other different squads you can use with those Inquisition guys. You could use Kaskrin, which is Casterkin, which is another Imperial Guard like kill team. Imperial Navy Breachers, which I still need to get some of those. Arbites Exaction Squad, that's the guys that I have. The Arbites, uh, Judge Dredd looking dudes. Veteran
Yeah.
Guardsmen. It doesn't say anything about like Space Marines or Sisters of Battle. It'd be cool if you could, but they might be too powerful. Like, I guess maybe you only be able to include like 1 or 2 of them, but they haven't
Yeah.
talked about it. But it says it's supposed to be the most flexible kill team that they've ever made. Those Inquisition guys. It's like 7 guys, and I think each one has 2 different choices that you can make it as. So it's like 14.
Fuck.
Even though you can only make 7, you technically have 14 choices.
Yeah.
Um,
That's nice.
and then there's like some chaos guys that you're going against. So,
Oh, nah.
and it has like all kinds of rules and stuff. Oh, and some of like the chaos cultists can transform into like chaos demon hybrids, and it has a bunch of models for that. Like, I'm about to send you the picture. They're pretty fucking cool looking. Actually, I'm just gonna send just so we can get your reaction. Where is what am I looking for? Whoa. Let's throw that over here because everybody don't need. Whoa. That would be a nice little funny thing. Popping that right in front of the screen.
Fuck yeah, dude.
But that'd be cool to have like narrative campaigns in Kill Team. A whole like
Oh,
system for
definitely.
that. Plus like
Yeah,
smart
because I
Inquisition
think
models are
everybody
cool.
used to make up their own and shit
Yeah.
instead of having like official like
Mm-hmm.
narratives.
So now the big thing, the 10th edition. 10th edition starter box. They showed all the contents, just like I was hoping. They didn't give a price, but I think I saw people like the rumor is it's going to be around like 200 to $250, which sounds about right. Also, that's like still you're saving so much money buying that box.
Yeah.
I think they did have a release date. Let me scroll down to the bottom, see if they mention it. Because there's a lot of shit in it. I want to say they did say it. Oh, it comes out this summer. Yeah. I think around May. I don't know. It's coming soon. The next couple months during this summer, it's coming out.
All right.
Um, Now what's in the box? It's a lot of shit. There are. Where does it say the total number of models? Because there's a lot. 25 Space Marine miniatures and 47 Tyranid miniatures. It's all new shit. Uh,
Damn.
the Leviathan edition of the rulebook, which is like a special cover and has maybe some extra stuff in it. Chapter approved Leviathan mission deck, Space Marine transfer sheet, which actually has, if the picture's right, transfers for like all the major chapters and not just Ultramarines, because I'm fucking sick of just getting Ultramarines transfer sheets with every fucking Space Marine
Yeah.
model. But there actually is like, I saw there's like a whole section on Blood Angels and like a bunch of other chapters, so that's pretty sweet.
Fuck yeah.
But there's a lot of lot of miniatures in this. We got Captain and Terminator armor, so that's pretty sweet. Librarian and Terminator armor. A new apothecary model, apothecary biologist, biologist. It's a weird fucking name, but it's a apothecary in like slightly heavier Gravis armor. He's pretty cool looking. He was in the trailer. It's pretty much all the shit in the trailer is fucking in the box, like I thought it would be. The lieutenant and Felmos armor they've already showed. The guy with the two knives and like the piece of Tyranid armor on his shoulder. We got, which this was like a theory people were saying from the video, Sternguard veterans. It's their first company, like Marines that are like elite, just like higher ranked Marines that are part of the first company of different chapters. They have an old model. This is a new model kit for them, so that's pretty sweet. They look pretty cool. They're just like slightly nicer Space Marines. They're kind of like the Blade Guard veterans, but with guns instead of swords and shields. So it's pretty
Okay.
sweet. The Terminator Squad, they already showed that off to us. You get 5 of them. And Furnace Squad, you get 10 of these guys. It's a Flamethrower Squad. Brand new. I want to say Black Templars have a special unit that's basically a Flamethrower Squad. So when those came out, people were expecting them to make this at some point.
Yeah.
And here it is in the
Fucking
starter
flamers,
box.
bro.
And the thing that I'm most excited for, Ballistus Dreadnought. It's basically they took like the original Dreadnought and made it a Redemptor Dreadnought, basically, where it's like that real big size of Redemptor Dreadnought, but instead of the Redemptor Dreadnought like plasma cannon or chain gun and a fist, it has a twin las cannon and a missile launcher, missile pods on the side. So I'm excited for that. Nice big old Dreadnought.
Fuck yeah.
But other
dude.
than that, it's like the standard Dreadnought, like new Dreadnought look.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed, nothing's called Primaris.
Yeah.
They fucking fixed that shit finally. I mean, there definitely are like these are definitely Primaris Marines, except for the Terminators. Those aren't. I don't know if the Stern Guard are supposed to be. I guess if the Blade Guard veterans are, then or if they were, then I guess these technically are. They kind of look like it.
Yeah.
The other stuff I guess except for the guys in Terminator because they said Terminators aren't. They're made Terminator squads are made up of Primaris Marines and Standard Marines like mixed together.
Yeah.
But like the Inferno squad is like definitely like kind of the same as like the regular assault intercessors and the regular intercessors and all the other. And I think there's like another one called Hell Blasters, which is it's like all the same bodies. They just have different guns and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyranids have a bunch of shit. Again, this is all this is new shit. A winged Tyranid Prime, which is like the leader of the armor. He's got like two arms with scythes and then like wings. He can fly around and pick off people and shit. Yeah, he's pretty decent size. A Neuro Tyrant is the giant floating brain thing from the trailer. That has like psychic abilities and shit. He's fucking cool looking. I like how they painted his brain like blue.
That's
It's like
fucking
all like
dope.
exposed brain and shit. He's fucking all kinds of tentacles and shit. Real hentai monster.
Fuck yeah.
The new Screamer Killer looks cooler than I thought it was going to. The trailer, it's kind of hard to see it in the trailer. Like a lot of this, it was kind of hard to see in the trailer. But the
hmm
Screamer Killer is that giant thing that has the fucking Godzilla breath and the four scythe arms. That's like huge as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, that like just eviscerates a fucking marine and then gets killed by the dreadnought. He's pretty
Yeah.
cool. The model with I think the dumbest name, just because it doesn't make sense. I don't really know the lore behind the name. It's called Von Ryan's Leapers. I guess a guy named Von Ryan named them, and so they're called Von Ryan's Leapers. They're basically like slightly like taller, kind of lanky, like Tyranids, but that are kind of small. That are have four scythe arms. That I guess they're supposed to be like an advanced guard or like a commando type unit where they get sent to planets like first to like start like because they're like real fast and stealthy. They're like velociraptors, basically.
Yeah.
Big old
Fun.
bunch of the new termagants and ripper swarms. So that's pretty sweet because that's like the main infantry. And then some
Yeah.
new gaunt variants. So normally there's termagants and hormagaunts, which is like termagants have guns and hormagaunts are like the melee variant of them. Well, they have two new ones that are going to be in the box.
hmm
Neurogaunts, which have this parasite thing attached to their backs, and one of them has a big exposed brain, and their whole thing is they're supposed to protect the big brain guy. They're like his personal guys that protect him that are all under his control. And I get looks like they're all melee. They might have some other abilities, and then this one, which I think is really cool, Barb Gaunts, which again they have another like tearing the little parasite thing on their shoulder. That's basically like a shoulder-mounted like rocket launcher, but it's a bio weapon, and like it like leeches onto them and like it like forces them to move around and like shoot it and stuff. And
God damn, bro.
and then finally the thing that had this maybe the most like what the fuck scene in the trailer. Like remember the scene where like I think it's like when the Terminator shows up and it's gonna shoot the chain gun. How it has that like weird comical pause where it cuts to these like big Tyrannid things eating something. They just like look up at the camera.
Yeah. I remember
That
that.
is a psychophage, which is a giant fucking spider big ass back thing with a huge fucking gaping mouth that it eats psychers and can convert its psychic energy into its psychic abilities into energy and puts out some gas out of its back that fucks shit up. That's what it is. You get one of those. It's fucking big as fuck.
Jesus Christ. Yeah,
And
I guess you definitely are getting your fucking money's worth out of this box then.
yeah, it's kind of
Like,
how a lot of these boxes are. Like I have the Age of Sigmar one, the Dominion box. I think I looked it up. It was like it's not as big as this, but it's a few $100s worth of shit, like $400 or $500
yeah,
worth of shit, and normally it's like $200, but I got it for 100 on sale.
yeah.
So I got it for a fucking steal. At some
Oh
point,
yeah.
I need to build that shit, and when I finish my Space Marine army, finish.
Right.
Which I'm definitely going to when this. I think some places are starting to take pre-orders for it, even though it's not. They don't have like a price or I don't know if there's an exact date on it. So I definitely need to go talk to one of my local shops, see if I could put some money down to reserve a copy, so I could maybe
Yeah.
pay it over a couple weeks, pay it off before like over a couple weeks or months before it comes out.
hmm
But I already originally I was thinking about seeing if Jordan, since he wants to be a Tinder player, if he wants to like go in on the box and he can have the Tyranid stuff if he like kind of helps pay for it. But because he helps so much with the move and all that, I was like, I'm just gonna give it to you. And then I even offered to build it for him, but he said he'd rather come out and like us build it together.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do that in the future. I don't know if that's gonna be that's probably not gonna be a video or nothing, but um, yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, nice little
Hell
fun
yeah.
day putting together a bunch of Warhammer stuff. Excited for the box. I don't know how many points it's going to be. I mean, it's a decent bit of stuff. Um, I mean, it's got to be probably about if I had to guess, I'd say it's like 1,000 points
Uh,
each, maybe.
yeah, maybe. I would imagine
Um, yeah,
maybe
maybe
1,000, maybe slightly over 1,000. I don't know.
because it's definitely more than like a combat patrol, which would be like 500.
Oh yeah.
Because like the one, because I assume the dreadnoughts cost about the same much as the Redemptor dreadnought, and the combat patrol that has one only has like it's got like a came with a chaplain, a squad of 5 regular intercessors, and some heavy intercessors. No, it came with the suppressor, the squad of the 3 suppressors. This like flying unit that with like dual wield guns. They're in that fucking mobile game. You get them in that mobile game.
Yeah.
The dude with the jetpack, or whatever. It's like slightly heavier
Yeah.
armor. So that's like about a 500 point little box there. So this has like a lot more than that because it has a squad of 10 of those Infernus squad guys, which that's kind of like a more basic infantry thing. It has the dreadnought. It has 5 Terminators. It has 5 Stern Guards. It has like the captain and Terminator, librarian, Terminator, apothecary, a lieutenant, and the dreadnought. It's a lot of stuff. So that's got to be at least like 1,000 points each. And the Tyranid forces, I assume, pretty equivalent. You get more models because you get all them fucking. I think you get like 20 Termagants. Termagants aren't really worth a whole lot. Uh, no, you might just get 10. Let's see. Let me see if it says. Because I know like all the big stuff you only get one, like the Tyranid Prime, the Neuro Tyrant, which that comes with 2 little guys that go with it. The Screamer Killer you get 1. The Leapers you get 3. I guess let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, it's 20 of them. 20 of them and 2 Ripper Swarms. Okay, and these guys you get 10 of the Neurogons and then 5 Barbgons. So yeah, I mean, their shit's not worth as many points. That's why they get so many models. This fucking Termagants ain't worth shit. Can't wait to mow them down, bro. Show them what's
Fuck.
good.
Okay.
It will be funny is if me and Jordan actually put it together and like try to do like a quick game or whatever. If I
Yeah.
lose, and then I'm like, oh yeah, and then I pull out some of my fucking Blood Angel shit and fuck them up.
There you go.
Let's see what happens if I fucking beef this up, throw in a fucking second Dreadnought, throw in an extra squad of Terminators, all kinds of stuff. Dante,
Yeah.
do
There
it.
you go.
Just do all of it and have like 3,000 points.
You're 3,000 versus
My 3,000
one.
points versus your 1. He has a little more. He's got a couple Termagants at his home. I think he's got some Termagants or Hormagants.
Oh yeah,
He has
that's
like a squad
right.
of 10 of each. So
I forgot
he'd
about
have 40 total.
that.
That's maybe like another 100 or 2 points.
Yeah. Yeah, I always forget that like with the Tyranids, their smaller guys really aren't that worth that many points.
No, it's Swarm Army.
Yeah.
They're good when you have a bunch of them.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got some big shit that could probably do some shit. I mean, like like I assume that Screamer Killer is like kind of it's basically equivalent to the fucking Dreadnought. I mean, it's like the same size.
Yeah.
The Tyranid Prime is definitely smaller than I thought it was going to be. It's kind of weird. I wonder why they did that and didn't just like include a Hive Tyrant or like update the Hive Tyrant to match the new art style.
Yeah. I
Because
don't know.
you can make that
That
as a winged. You can make a winged Hive Tyrant.
that would be sick.
Like that,
That would
it
be
comes with wings if you want to use them. They cost extra, but it
yeah.
does have them.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do that instead,
I don't know.
but
I guess they wanted all new shit, so they just made something
start
new.
fresh off
Yeah, I mean you
everything.
can still use all the old stuff, but I guess they wanted because the Space Marine side everything's new. I mean
Yeah.
there is a Primaris Apothecary and there's like Primaris Librarian. There is an old model for Librarian Dreadnought and the Librarian Terminator and like Terminators have an old model. So I think maybe the Captain in Terminator armor might have an old model maybe, but I mean
Yeah.
it's mostly all new shit and updated shit. So I guess it makes sense to make the whole box new because I mean, it's gonna be the
Yeah.
first. That's the first place you'll be able to get everything. You probably won't be able because they did show the roadmap for some of the releases for at least for codexes. I think down
Yeah.
here towards the bottom. Yeah. So yeah, that comes out, uh, and then you'll be able to buy separately at the same time the core book, the Crusade Tyrannic War. I guess it's gonna be like a little campaign thing or something. Chapter
Yeah.
approved mission deck, which that comes in the box. Uh, it's a deck of cards that have all different types of missions and stuff on them. Index cards, so those you could buy. You could buy decks instead of like like the index is gonna be free at launch of all the different armies, points, values, and stuff. But you could buy decks of cards that have all the information on it.
Yeah.
But then in autumn, that's December and autumn, the Tyranids and Space Marines get their first codexes, and then winter we get Necrons and an Admech. So those might get some new stuff. Admech might because I mean it's probably I don't think it's had anything new in a little while, so they might throw. Usually when the codex comes out, they might sometimes throw out something new with it. Um,
Yeah.
Spring's got fucking 5 codexes coming out. It's got Dark Angels, Orcs, Adeptus Custodes, Tau, and Chaos Space Marines. That's all they've announced so far.
Pretty
Definitely
good.
can't wait
Pretty good.
for Blood Angels. And apparently, I heard a thing that uh, I don't know if I'm gonna need the Space Marine. I might not. I don't know if I'm gonna need the Space Marine cards. I know they said for the cards, if you're a Space Marine player and like your chapter gets its own deck of cards, it's gonna come with all the basics. So you're not gonna need to buy both that and the Space Marine ones.
That's actually.
But
Ooh.
I think it's only for the ones that have a lot of shit, like the Blood Angels, Dark Angels, the ones that have a lot of shit. Whereas
Yeah.
all the ones that don't really have anything, you'll have to get the Space Marine one,
Yeah.
the generic Space Marine one.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, dude. That's fucking.
And they've gone into the detail about like all the models and stuff. You can go look at close up pictures of all of them.
Yeah.
They still have the article up of Warhammer Fest 23. Every reveal on one place. You can scroll through and just click on like the individual articles for stuff and see the videos and they got a little detail in the things.
Yeah. That I'm excited now that 10th edition's now underway.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
It's right around the
Like
corner, bro.
it's fuck, dude. Because I remember like a couple years back when like everybody was like starting to talk about like Warhammer and shit like that and being like, oh yeah, the next fucking
When
next
I
edition.
was talking about it, because I was the only one talking about it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
next.
because
Ooh, my fucking legs.
damn,
Hold up, I gotta stretch it out a little
yeah.
bit. But yeah, anyways.
Well, yeah, because when I first decided to get into Warhammer was right before Ninth Edition came out.
Right.
And then everyone knows right after Ninth Edition came out, this new thing called COVID-19 came out and fucked it all up. Because the
Yeah.
first models that I bought were technically they don't make them anymore, but they don't sell them no more. But they used to have these little cheap, easy to build packs of Marines for like $15 that were part of the Eighth Edition at the end of the Eighth Edition, where it was you could get either 3 intercessors, 3 that had 3 Reaver Armor Marines. I think is what they were called. Uh, and I think they had like a Death Guard pack too. That was like 3 Death Guard Marines or something like that for Chaos. And it's like $15. You get 3 Marines, and they're like mono pose, easy to put together, whatever. And I still have them over here. Like, not I never finished painting them. I got them mostly painted, but I never fully finished painting them. And the reason why there I bought that, and then there was probably uh a year or so before I really bought anything else, because COVID shut everything down and nobody was playing games.
Yeah.
Because my whole thing was like I have the first edition of Kill Team rulebook, because my thing was I was gonna use those Marines to play Kill Team and learn how to play it at the shops and stuff. Because to be honest, I wasn't expecting like no one else to really invest the money into Warhammer. I was thinking it was gonna kind of be like maybe Dungeons and Dragons, where like let me just start buying a bunch of shit and doing it, and then slowly everyone else will start to kind of fall in. But I knew
Yeah.
Warhammer, it's a lot bigger investment than just buying a couple books and like some dice
Yeah.
and stuff. It's buying expensive model kits and then putting them together and painting them, and then buying expensive books and learning how to play and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It is definitely
Mm-hmm.
a hobby that's overwhelming
Yes.
to like starting people.
Yes.
Because usually it gets like, I don't know, it's usually all the shit that's thrown at it, and then on top of the price that usually I
Mm-hmm.
can see that turns people away. Because you're just like, I don't know, I don't want to spend all that money if it's something that
Especially
complicated
when you start
or
like like if you try to plan out like buying a whole army at once, like that first initial buying an army can be very expensive, and especially depending on which one you choose, because some are way more expensive than others. Um, but like I try not to think about how much money I've spent over the years. That being said, like the past like year or so, I've probably bought more than I have in the previous couple, because I got a better job than I made more money and stuff.
yeah,
And I just need to one of these days I gotta fucking just sit here just grind out trying to paint the rest of these guys. It's just taking so long. I don't have that much time to work on it. Once I get it done, like it'll be awesome. And then it's just a matter of like if I want to upgrade my army and add to it, because that's kind of the thing is like it's expensive like to try and build an army. Except like it's better like when like 10th edition comes out if you want to start, because there's a nice cheap box set that has a bunch of shit. It comes with 2 armies, 2 small armies. That there you go, and it's way compared to what all that's just going to be when it's separate. I think people were estimating that it may cost upwards of like I think it's one of the things which just might be kind of high is saying like it might cost like up to like $1,000 for all that shit individually if you were to buy it all separately. I think that's kind of high. It's definitely going to be like 400 or 500 bucks. Uh,
yeah,
like when it all comes out separately. I mean, we'll be able to actually test that out like when they announce the price of the box, and then once they start releasing that stuff in the coming months. But I mean, that's how the Dominion box is. It's like $200 and it's got like $400 worth of shit. Uh, Another good time to get into it is at the end of the year around Christmas, because they come out with a bunch of value boxes, and
yeah,
like how when because that's actually one of the things that I bought where a lot of my army came from is months afterwards. There were still some of them hanging around, and I bought a Space Marine one, which I would definitely recommend buying one of those. Like if you haven't like really started buying too much stuff, come around Christmas, fuck getting people gifts, bro. Treat yourself,
yeah,
because
yeah,
you do get
definitely.
a pretty nice value in those boxes. And like every year, like people do videos like saying which ones are better value and stuff. And I mean, there's gonna probably if it's like this past year, there's gonna be several Space Marine ones to choose from.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm fucking excited about Tenny. It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be fucking good, dude. I know it. I'm expecting a lot of like this. Well, I'm not expecting like an overwhelming amount of people to start getting into it, but I am kind of expecting a lot of newer people to get into
I
it
think what's
now.
going to help is the simplification of the rules. Well, the unovercomplication of the rules, because like that's kind of been a problem that I've had. It's like the rulebook is so hard to read. To be honest with you, the ninth edition rulebook it's pretty hard read. Um, because you kind of remember like when we were first getting the Dungeons and Dragons, there was like some stuff that was kind of hard to figure. Like we had a little trouble figuring out, but we kind of, I mean, obviously like through playing it, we were able to kind of figure out stuff. But like but from getting from the book to the actual tabletop wasn't that big of a deal. Like we could kind of
Yeah,
figure it out and brute force some stuff. This it's a little harder to do that because you have to build because the way build army build like list building is with the detachments and stuff. It's like trying to like figure out if you did it right is so hard, much harder than figuring out if you made a character right. Like,
yeah,
and then because if you don't and you go to play, well, first of all, you're just playing with like a stranger who knows how to play. They could just straight up be like, "What the fuck?" It's like you're playing, you having a legal army or whatever. Or if you're playing against, you could potentially, or if they don't know because it's so complicated, they only know for how their army how it works, like what a legal army for their army is. Uh, you could potentially be playing with a way underpowered army or a way overpowered army because you just didn't take shit right, or you got wrong abilities and shit, or you who knows like.
yeah,
And a lot of the apps like because there's like different apps and programs you could use for building army lists, they don't really they don't they don't hold your hand at all.
no,
Which what I mean by that is they don't tell you like, oh, you selected this type of detachment, you made illegal choices. Really, they kind of do, but not like I think enough. Or it doesn't explain. It kind of just expects you to know what to do.
yeah,
And I'm so excited for the new army building rules where it's just so much more simple.
yeah. No, I agree. It's a very much needed adjustment for the fucking game because even then I was looking through like PDFs and shit, just trying to like read through it,
Hmm.
and like you said, dude, that shit is so fucking hard to like understand because
Hmm.
it's like it's not like yeah, obviously the veterans who have been playing the game for years or whatever are
Right.
gonna know, okay, yeah, this is that and that and whatever. Whereas like us, we're gonna be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like I don't know.
And like there are like videos like explaining how to play, but like I feel like I think they don't do quite a good. I haven't found one that quite does it good enough. You know, they explain like for the most part stuff, but they haven't like really explained it good enough to where like I finished a video and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. Like that's kind of what makes watching some battle reports kind of hard, is because like I kind of don't really know what's going on. Like, and like I know it's one of those things that like I'll understand like what the numbers and shit mean once I actually play. It's kind of like again like going back to Dungeons and Dragons. I think Dungeons and Dragons is a good analogy. Like you don't really
Yeah,
know like what all the numbers on your sheet mean when you first look at it, but once you play it and get kind of used to it, you go, okay, this is that. I know strength is this is your ability checks and this and that saving throws. But then it's like,
yeah.
but then like you look at fucking Warhammer, like those Warhammer data sheets and stuff. Oh man, it's a lot of information.
It's it's a lot. It's just like yeah, because I remember I even like looked at that as like a reference when I was looking at like those PDFs and shit.
Mm,
Like, yeah, okay, kind of go into the same mindset. You're not gonna know what the fuck you're doing, but this made learning D&D look like a fucking
oh
cakewalk.
yeah, it is. It is definitely
Like,
is. Especially comparing using ninth edition Warhammer
yeah,
because it's for what I learned, what I figured out towards the end is that oh, this is a really hard to be your first. This is not the right edition to be your first edition.
no, no, it is not.
Kill Team doesn't seem like it's that bad. I need to really go through and read the rules more. I mean, I have the rule books for first and second edition Kill Team.
But yeah, my most hyped thing though is the combat patrol
Combat
being
Patrol
a fuck
mode. Yeah.
like that. I think is a very very fucking much needed.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of hope they make a bunch of new combat patrols. I mean,
Oh yeah, definitely.
just because a lot of them are kind of mid, um, I feel,
Yeah.
and like some of them actually like for that army are great. Like the Grey Knights and Custodes ones, from what I understand,
Yeah.
are fucking mint. Like I watch these guys. There's this Warhammer podcast called Poor Hammer, and they did a video where if you wanted to try and make about a 2,000 point army with $500, could you could you and like they said that the main thing they didn't want to do was make it be, oh, you just buy your combat patrol 3 or 4 times. Well, for those it was like that's like the greatest thing you could do. You could have such
Yeah.
a fucking great army if you do that.
Yeah.
Because they're so good. But because there's also partially the reason why is because those armies don't have like a ton of shit to choose from really.
Mhm.
Also, some of the combat patrols come with monopose version of models, where it's
Yeah.
you don't get all the option parts, but those don't. Those come with the full model. And I think they said
Yeah.
like for the grade, it's the only downside is you're gonna get like 3 of a character. They said to buy 3 of them. They're like you're gonna get 3 of this one character. You will never play this character 3. You could sell the other 2 and make some of your money back.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, but like a lot of the Space Marine ones, I find are kind of mid because most of them just come with generic stuff. Like not very many of them come with the specific chapter stuff. I think they should. Like,
Yeah.
there's no reason why the Blood Angels one, which has a tank in it, doesn't have the only Blood Angels exclusive tank. Which I guess it makes sense because like I guess it kind of makes sense because it's like okay, you're gonna buy this, and then you're gonna buy all the unique upgrade stuff. It's fun that they come with like intercessors and shit, like some basic infantry, but like the character should be like there should be like a Blood Angels character or something. I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah.
the Dark Combat Patrol game mode hopefully is going to be good. Hopefully they actually balance it properly. That's going to be the big thing because that's going to have a separate balance because uh, watching videos comparing the different combat patrols, they are not equal.
No, not at all.
Not even like even points values wise, they're not equal. Like some of them are technically like a lot of points, just because you don't need that many models.
Yeah.
But other ones you get a lot of models and not that many points. Because the amount of plastic you're gonna have to put in that box to make it equal.
Yeah.
And some of them
They're
just
gonna
come with
have
shitty
to.
units.
Yeah. I think they're gonna have to go in and readjust.
Yeah, no, I think they said for that game mode, every combat patrol box is gonna have its own unique uh attachment sheet or whatever, where it's gonna be like they're gonna actively try and balance it out, and hopefully they continue to do that as they release new ones
Yeah.
because they're
I
gonna need
agree.
to.
Oh yeah. Uh, what time we got?
Almost an hour and a half.
All right. Uh, let's say, is that everything you wanted to add to it, or?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much. Oh yeah, like I said, the only thing I wanted to talk about real quick. I just hit 15-year veteran on RuneScape. Shout out. Got my 15-year vet cape. And I guess I must have made my account like roughly 5 years into RuneScape almost. Because as soon as I got my cape, the character you buy from mentioned, oh, you're X amount of days away from the 20-year veteran cape. And I'm like, oh, damn, I didn't know they had a 20-year veteran cape. But I guess the game is 20 years old now. Or just about.
Yeah.
I haven't seen what it looks like. I'm going to have to look it up. But
Yeah.
I was excited
Um.
to get my 15-year one.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's a fucking. That's one that not many people have.
No, well, yes and no. No, because I mean, like that's a long time having the same account. Um, yes, because a lot of people who still play RuneScape have always played RuneScape.
Yeah.
I don't know how many
Sure.
new people hop into RuneScape. There's like especially like as members because like there's so many people I see that have several, if not like most skills at maxed out almost.
Yeah.
Like now
Oh yeah.
it's still impressive to see like a true maxed people with true max skills. There's very few of those because there's like 3 levels of maxing a character as far as like leveling up your skills. It's getting everything to level 99 to get the skill cape and get skill mastery. Uh, that takes a long time. It's like 13, 14 million XP. It takes quite a while. Level 92 is half the XP you need. To put it in perspective, to get to 99. Then there's the second cap, which is the virtual leveling cap at level 120, I think. So you don't level up after 99. And also, a couple skills do, but for the most part they stop at 99. But you still gain XP, and so
Yeah.
there's virtual leveling you could turn on, which shows it still like if it was to keep leveling up, towards the level cap, the XP cap, which is the final cap. You would get to level 120 at the rate that it fucking exponentially grows how much you need to level up. But then there's the XP cap, hitting the XP cap of 200 mil when the to get to level 99 you need 14 is quite the journey, because you can only gain like once you hit 99 you have maxed out the amount of XP you can earn an hour in a skill. There's only so many things you could do to maximize what you could do, and it's just a straight attrition. Straight just sitting there doing the same shit over and over again. And every once in a while I run into people who have that, who almost have it in several skills, but have it in a lot of skills, and that's like the only thing that impresses me anymore. Seeing like people with a bunch of skill caves doesn't impress me. I have like fucking 6 of them now, out of like the fucking 20 or whatever skills there are. One day I'll have all of them. Some of them are taking quite a while.
When does it become an official RuneScape Chad?
Yeah. Well, I mean, back in the day, it meant something to like see people with fucking skill caves. That was like because it was rare back in the day. But most of the
Yeah.
people who play have played for a long time,
So yeah, it's gonna be
and
a standard.
people know all this. Like the RuneScape wiki is so heavily used and so detailed that they did an update to the game where you can search in the chat and search the wiki in the game in game chat, and it pulls up the articles by just searching it in the game
Yeah.
chat. Like the the hardcore community is fucking, and like I don't even get like that deep into like the hardcore shit. I just like playing it. It's just like a nostalgic game, and it's a fucking chill game to play. But
Yeah.
like when you read some of those fucking like leveling up skill guides, and like all you like you see the list of all the shit, like the maximum amount of shit you could do to maximize stuff, like it's fucking there's so much shit you could do. Um,
Fuck yeah.
but one day I'm gonna do it, man. I
Hey,
fucking
dude.
I'll max out everything, and then they'll add a new skill,
Shit. Hell yeah.
and I'll could do all the fucking quests and shit,
Goddamn right.
and they'll add a bunch more. They'll never end until one day the servers are shut down because I'm the only person left playing the game. I won't stop playing until I have the oldest active account.
Uh,
God, I hope I never fucking lose my account, man. I'll fucking kill myself.
that would suck so
There's so
bad.
much time in that fucking thing, dude. I think last time I checked, it said it had like 54 days of game time. That's so much, dude. Like when it's counting your time in days, like, and like 54. I know I'm over that now, but let's just see, 54 is almost 1,300 hours. It's actually not that much for how old my account is. Uh, because I mean, if you divide that by 15,
I was gonna say
that's only like 86 hours a year. But it's because I've had like time where like, I didn't play for like a year or two.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, for me, the closest game I probably have
Skyrim.
to matching hours like that is Skyrim.
Yeah.
I would say at least with the amount of fucking playthroughs and characters I've done, dude, like, and on each console and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would say you probably easily on like Xbox have a couple hundred hours. It wouldn't surprise me.
Oh yeah. I
Um,
think one character I have like almost 400 hours
damn.
on him. Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't finished yet. That's a lot. Um, I mean, I assume like some of the other consoles, you probably that you've only done like a playthrough or so. It's probably not nearly as
Yeah.
much because it doesn't take that long to kind of play through the game.
Yeah. My Xbox probably has the
Yeah.
most. My PlayStation, I've got two. one that I'm currently doing on my YouTube channel. That's like a fucking no commentary type
Yeah,
thing.
Legend of
The
Chungus,
Switch is probably the Switch and the PC are probably the least
and then PS3,
ones I
which you haven't
put the most
touched.
time. Yeah, and then the PS3, which I haven't touched, is the only fucking one. It's
One
the
day I'll let you
only
borrow my
fucking
PlayStation.
one. Oh god, dude, I'm so fucking angry about that. But I know good and damn well I'm gonna get a PS3 just because of that.
I mean, they're so fucking cheap, dude.
Really are. They really are.
I mean, I bought one a couple years ago because they were so cheap.
I can get a fucking renewed one for
That's
fucking
what I did. I got the slim renewed 250 gig hard drive, which for that generation is a huge hard drive. Well, I guess that's everything.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
thanks people for watching Trapped in a Dungeon 17. Uh,
Yep,
sure to check out Way Out Let's Play now that it's done, and look forward to the next ones we'll be doing, and
absolutely.
all that like, comment, subscribe goodness, you know.
Follow us in our socials down below. Keep up with what we're doing and everything.
I had to take a break from streaming, but hopefully I'll be back to it after this weekend. Hopefully.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, peeps. Catch you on the flip side.